Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the Everton News Daily. It is Wednesday the 7th of February 2018. The big story today is David Unsworth has rejected the chance to take over the manager at Oxford United. The Under-23s coach, who obviously had a stint as the Everton manager early on this season, will be staying at Goodison Park for the time being. No real news come out of this as such. It hasn't come out of Everton. It's come from media reports. So it's going to be interesting to see what his thinking is behind that. Whether he thinks he'll wait to the summer, wait for maybe another job to come up that will allow him to go into a club fresh in the summer, having a pre-season. Because I don't imagine he'll want to stay on as the Under-23s manager after this season. Yes, it's a cushy job. He's got other responsibilities at Everton. Maybe that's coming to the thinking. It's one thing walking away from being the manager and the coach of a junior side. It's the other side of things. I think he's the head of coaching at Everton. So it's all those responsibilities maybe that he's factored in, and maybe in the summertime he can go away and have a think about it, and Everton can get something in place for those roles. The Under-23s are not doing massively well at the moment. Obviously, a lot of change this season, with a lot of those players either graduating to the first team or going on loan. Or being sold. So it's been a mixed bag. Obviously, they played on Monday night. They were beaten 4-0 in a game that Funes Mori played 45 minutes in. So we'll just have to wait and see. Obviously, he's got aspirations of being a manager, being a Premier League manager, maybe being the Everton manager again. And to do that, I'm sure he understands that he's going to have to get his foot on the ladder at a team. Maybe he's got aspirations of maybe starting more in the Championship than starting at somewhere like Oxford. Maybe he thinks that after having Premier League experience, he could go to maybe a Championship team and start from there rather than start a little bit lower down. So we'll wait and see anyway on that. But he's definitely staying for the time being, and we'll wait and see what happens in the summer. Obviously, we spoke yesterday. We reported Patrice Evra was linked with Everton and West Ham. He's now signed for West Ham, which was basically 99% on yesterday, but there was that link with Everton, so he is now signed for West Ham, and I'm not asked, so we'll move on. Should have signed the left back in the summer, in the summer and the January window. Sam Allardyce has spoken about the futures of Davy Klaassen and Sandro. On Sandro, he said he's tried to fight for his place and the whole of the season, and like many players that come here for the first time around, they don't work. There's more players that don't work in their first season than work. So contrary to what everyone thinks, players from abroad don't work in the first season. They fail more than they succeed. That's across the board at every club. So it's season 2 that really counts. You want them to work in season. You can't be patient because nobody will let you be patient. But in year two, who knows? We could very well have a different player at the start of next season, and for him, he's got to fight to see if he can get in this season, and that's what make the case later down the line. And he said the same for Sandro. It's a start of a whole new season, and when the new season starts, everyone starts fresh, and everyone has a new chance to impress, and you've got the whole pre-season to do that. Really not saying anything there, really, is he's not saying anything we don't really know. It's just typical nonsense, just spiel that managers and footballers and football clubs put out all the time. On Klaassen, obviously Sandro's gone on loan, but on Klaassen, why not give him a chance maybe in the weeks to come? It's not like Morgan Snydland's pulling up any trees, and yet he seems to get the chance all the time. So maybe in the weeks to come, maybe I mean, it's easy to say maybe once the 40 points have been reached, but what difference does that make when you've got a player like Morgan Snydland who for me, doesn't do anything, doesn't try, doesn't offer anything? So why not have someone who could do that job? Or he's an option. You look at the way Tom Davies has played, look at the way Wayne Rooney's played, and you think if Klaassen could come in and show that same energy, he'd be a benefit to the team in there as an alternative, or someone off the bench, if one of those, especially someone like Wayne Rooney. For me, if Wayne Rooney can play in that role, can play an hour, and then maybe someone like Davy Classen can come on and take over that role for the last 30 minutes of the game. To write him off, I know he's saying in year 2, but to write him off is ridiculous to me, because you're not giving him any incentive to push on. He's tried to basically try to get him out the door to Napoli, and then had a go at him for not going to Napoli. So why not just give him a chance? Just get him on the bench. I think the fans respect the fact that Davy Classen wants to try and succeed at Everton, and he's not been given the chance in the second half of the season, certainly. So yeah. So we'll wait and see on that. Hopefully he does get a chance. Finally, Alon Luchman has had a chat with some of the German media and basically said, he's enjoying his football. They've asked him about his long-term future, and he said he's here for 5 months, wants to enjoy it, and then they'll see what happens. He says he's single, he doesn't drink, and he just concentrates on playing football. He was asked about the boots he wore at the weekend, because there was a lot of criticism because he took one pair of boots and they didn't really suit the surface, and he said he'll keep them forever. So we'll wait and see on Admola Luchman as well. For me, sounds like a player who's relieved to get away from Everton and is happy that someone's going to give him a chance to play football. And I think that says it all. I think he's been treated shockingly at the club. Mismanaged by not only Sam Allardyce, but Ronald Koeman. And yet people will come back and say, well, hang on, if a couple of managers haven't played him, or 3 managers haven't played him, then there must be something not right. Well, we've seen what he's like. He's someone to come off the bench. He's someone who wants to go, forward and have a go. And we've gone over this before. We spoke about it yesterday, I think. So hopefully he does come back to the club and gets a chance and takes it. Also, Leighton Baines has spoke about Keenan Dahl and basically said he's a fantastic player, and probably did need that year away, and probably needed just that little bit extra, and can't wait for him to come back next season, where again he should come into pre-season and have a right go of getting into the squad. And obviously being left-footed would be a massive advantage to this Everton side. But he's right about him. This season was, what anyone thinks was probably the best for him to go out on loan, get involved in games, playing on different positions, getting used to having more responsibility on the pitch. So hopefully we'll see the best of that next season. So there you have it. There's today's Everton News Daily. Hopefully Sam Allardyce will be doing his pre-match press conference tomorrow. If it's not tomorrow, obviously it'll be Friday. And we'll if it's tomorrow, we'll let you know what he says, and we'll see you later on Toffee TV.